In recent years, media has taken considerable steps towards the inclusion of the LGBT community in film and TV, marking progress as we take steps towards acceptance and equality. But not all representation is necessarily good representation. Media has been continuously plagued with mischaracterizations, stereotypes, and other issues. For many people, the media is their first and possibly only exposure to queer identities and shapes how many see the community and themselves. When all people see is negative portrayals, it reinforces negative beliefs and leads to discrimination towards the LGBT community, as well as mental health challenges for queer people. In this video, I will examine the harmful impact that misrepresentation in the media can have on the LGBT community, emphasizing the need for accurate and authentic portrayals.
See, this is the color I want.
This is Damien. He's almost too gay to function.
Media plays a huge role in how society views a particular subject, and usually serves as people's main source of information. When the media represents characters through one-dimensional stereotypes like the sassy gay best friend or the predatory lesbian, the portrayals can reinforce harmful misconceptions. Stereotypes like the ones I mentioned make queer characters easily digestible for a cisgender and heterosexual audience.
Oh, honey, wake up and smell the KY. I was flipping through a vintage issue of Honcho. I saw his ad in the Rancho section. He called himself Paul. Worst hustler name I ever heard.
These tropes strip away characters' depth and individuality, reducing them to comic relief or villains. They send a message that queer people don't have unique or meaningful stories of their own. The sassy gay best friend often exists solely to support straight leads, reinforcing the idea that LGBTQ characters are sidekicks in their own narratives. Similarly, lesbian characters are frequently depicted as predatory or trapped in tragic narratives. This perpetuates the idea that queer relationships are doomed to fail, and it influences not just societal perceptions, but also how queer people view their own love lives. Another trope media often falls victim to is the barrier gaze trope, in which one member of a same-gender couple will be killed off, usually leading to the other partner ending up in a heterosexual relationship. In Pretty Little Liars, Emily and Maya's relationship, though imperfect, was one of the few instances of bisexual representation. But Maya's death in season 2 only reinforced the idea that queer love is fleeting or tragic.
In the distance, they found a body. I think it's Maya.
Bisexuality in media has its own set of damaging stereotypes. Bisexual characters are often hypersexualized, shown as promiscuous, incapable of commitment, or portrayed as if their sexuality is a phase.
I'm not even sure bisexuality exists. I think it's just a layover on the way to Gay Town.
There's a pattern of Bi-Erasure, where bisexual identities are dismissed or heavily questioned. Characters like Willow from Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Miriam from The Hunger are often labeled as lesbians, despite their attraction to multiple genders. This erasure is damaging because it invalidates bisexuality as a stable or real identity. The lack of positive representation contributes to a mental health crisis within the bisexual community, with higher rates of depression and anxiety compared to other groups. Many bisexual individuals feel invisible, even within LGBTQ spaces, and the lack of positive bisexual representation in media only intensifies these feelings.
Einhorn is a man! Oh my God! Einhorn is a man!
Transgender representation in media has always been problematic. For decades, trans characters were either absent or depicted in harmful ways. Cisgender actors often played trans roles, denying trans actors the opportunity to tell their own stories. When trans characters do appear, they are frequently shown as deceptive or dangerous. In Sleepaway Camp, Angela's trans identity is linked with violence and deception. In comedies like Ace Ventura and Family Guy, trans women are treated as objects of disgust.
That's why Roger Podacter is dead! He found Captain Winky!
These portrayals shape public perception, especially since many people have never met a transgender person in real life. The media becomes their only reference. That's why accurate media portrayals are crucial. Without them, it's easier for misinformation to spread and for fear to take root.
And my story, to one degree or another, is every transgender person's story. And all those stories are the price of admission to finally feeling at peace with who you are.
See, you don't know and you don't even care, and obviously he doesn't either, and I don't blame him. You're destroying everything, and for what? So you can swap spit with some stupid girl? Elle's not stupid. It's not my fault you don't like girls.
Another issue in the representation of the LGBT community is queerbaiting. Queerbaiting is the practice of teasing the idea that a character might be queer without providing real confirmation. It's a marketing tactic drawing in LGBT audiences without any genuine commitment to representation. In the CW show Riverdale, Betty and Veronica share a kiss that serves no real narrative purpose. It was solely for shock value. Many fans were disappointed that this kiss didn't lead to any romantic storyline between the two characters. I recently started watching Riverdale and I'm so mad that Veronica isn't canon, said one user. I swear these two were endgame. #Veronica. This kind of representation can be manipulative, leaving LGBT viewers feeling exploited, not represented. When LGBT people only see partial or ambiguous representation, it sends mixed signals about the validity of their identities in mainstream culture.
You're over there, next to Nicholas Nelson.
Hi.
Despite these challenges, there have been strides in positive LGBT representation. Shows like Heartstopper, Pose, and Euphoria showcase complex, relatable queer characters. Movies like Love, Simon, and Pariah normalize queer love stories, contributing to greater acceptance. But even in these portrayals, there are still shortcomings.
My name's Simon. For the most part, my life is totally normal. I'm just like you, except I have one huge-ass secret. Nobody knows I'm gay.
In Love, Simon, the central conflict is he has this huge secret, a framing that can unintentionally suggest that being gay is abnormal. And the subplot with Leah, where she blames Simon for not returning her feelings, is problematic. It can make queer people wary of forming deep connections with their straight friends.
Is that all these years, you being so picky with girls, I thought that maybe it was because you might like me too. And then, you told me I should go out with Nick, and I realized you were just never gonna see me that way.
Yes, there has been progress, but there's still work to be done. We need more representation that is varied, authentic, and free from harmful stereotypes. Because representation doesn't just reflect reality, it shapes it.